Okay, so now let's gonna talk about another type of loop, the do-while loop. So it's the same thing that the while loop. The only difference is that, see the expression, is at the end of the while loop. What's mean that the expression is at the end of the while loop? It means that there is not restriction to get into the do-while loop at least the first time that we execute the loop. Remember in the while loop, the count controller, at the beginning, there is a expression that prevent us to get into the loop. In the do-while loop, it's different. You are free to get into the do-while loop at least one time, okay? At least once. This is the difference. While loops can run 0 times, right? 0, because if the expression is not true at the beginning, you never are gonna get into the while loop. The do-while loop allow you to get into the loop at least one time, okay? So see that do is a reserved word, the statement executes first, and then the expression is evaluated. First, you get into the loop, and then the expression is evaluated. To avoid infinite loop, body must contain a statement that makes the expression false. Something inside the loop body has to be prevent the infinite loop, okay? Make the expression false, okay? This kind of loop always iterate at least once. This is a big difference with while loop. So if we go to NetBeans, we can create a do while loop. While, okay, example. The syntax is pretty much the same. The while loop and the expression is going to be at the end and follow with the statement terminator. You write do, open curly braces, and close the braces there. So you will have to write here whatever you want. For example, number one. It's going to create result. Okay. So I'm just going to set enter number. Improve that. Next. Right. And somehow here, what do we have to do? Okay, this is the same thing that says count equal count plus one. It's the same thing. Okay, you can use count plus plus or count equal count plus one. Same thing. So I'm gonna see what happened. And file, we're free to get into the loop immediately. Enter a number, 5, 4, 3. See that we receive the 3 numbers there. Okay, so sometimes you are free to get into the repetition. Sometimes you need to perform a pre-validation. Okay, so sometimes you will have to execute, you need a while loop first because you need to verify the data at the beginning of the repetition. We're gonna do an example at the end, okay, where we're gonna see much clearer why we need to do sometime while loop or do while loop, but pretty much you can adjust that depending of your logic. So you can use while loop or do while loop and create inside a do while loop and if statement. So it's depending of your logic. You are free to use do while loop or while loop. The only difference that I can tell you is that if you need to do a repetition, you know the number of times of the repetitions, and you know that it could be executed at least once, of course you can use a do while loop. Got it? This is here. So this is something that I summarize here. Which loop should I use? If you know or can determine in advance the number of repetitions needed, the for loop is the correct choice. There is a video for the for loop, okay? The for loop. So if you know, okay, the number of times of repetition in advance, use for loop. If you don't know and cannot determine in advance the number of repetitions, so you don't know, it's uncertain how many repetitions are going to be that. And it could be 0 repetition, use while loop. Got it? If you don't know the number of repetition in advance, you have to use, and also if it could be 0 repetition, use while loop. If you don't know and cannot determine in advance the number of repetition needed, okay, the same thing, but it is at least one, use do while loop. Okay, so I don't know how many times I need to repeat this loop, but you know that at least once, okay, use do while loop. So I try to summarize the rules there to help you. Okay, hope this video helped. Thank you.